Hello, I'm Topher, the blue-collar gentleman, and I welcome you to my channel. Today, I'd like to talk about the 21st century gentleman and the art of giving. One responsibility of every gentleman is to provide value to the people he meets. Most of the time, that means offering assistance in situations where his knowledge or skill set could help those around him. Examples would be giving the time to someone whose phone has died, writing a letter of recommendation for a colleague, or acting as a translator between two individuals lacking knowledge of the other's language. But there are some instances in which a gentleman can do more, and in this video we're going to discuss how much more and when, and how this help should be offered. I'm not bragging when I say I'm generous with my friends and family, especially to their kids. If a loved one is experiencing lean times, I'll try to help by showing up with groceries, buying pizza for the whole family, offer to pay for an entire tank of gas in exchange for a ride that's less than 3 miles, and various other things. To me, that's part of my civic responsibility. My wife Nancy and I aren't members of any organized religion, so we don't give to any church, temple, synagogue, or mosque. Rather, we take 10% of every check or payment we receive and we give it away to a needy person or a worthy institution. Our two favorites are St. Jude's and the Wounded Warrior Project. If a friend or family member is walking, jumping rope, or selling for a charity, Nancy and I make sure to contribute to that. And when loved ones are experiencing financial hardships, we add to their GoFundMe accounts. But enough patting myself on the back. Now, I'm not by any means discouraging anyone from giving to their religious institution. Many of them are very good about offering services like food pantry, space for 12-step and recovery programs, warm clothing for the homeless, and affordable child care. Just for one example, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints gave more at Hurricane Katrina than any other institution. Although the missus and I have not found a faith that fits us, we believe that with all the blessings we've received, the least we can do is hand out 1/10 of our earnings to people who need it. What I have failed to do for quite some time now is volunteer. I'm confessing that here in order to hold myself accountable. Now that Nancy and I are settled here in Los Angeles, it's time for me to find some institution that needs some help and offer it to them. Frankly, handing out money is the easy part, the very easy part. The real work comes from giving of yourself and of your time. I used to volunteer for the Literacy Project, and it's time I got back to doing that or some other volunteering. So now, I bring the discussion to how giving, philanthropy, and community service work into the art of being a gentleman. Surely there's more to being a gentleman than simply assisting an elderly person onto the bus or offering a pen to someone who needs one. So I ask you, what are those things? Are gentlemen expected to give their money, their time, themselves? If so, how much? Nancy and I have moved into a primarily Latinx neighborhood, so learning Spanish is not only useful, it's ingratiating ourselves to the neighborhood. I've been here for less than a month, and yet some of the pupusa chefs smile and wave to me, and I believe that's because I attempt to speak Spanish with vendors and street chefs. I recognize that the majority of the neighborhood speaks Spanish, and in order to show my neighbors respect, I try to speak so that they can understand me. I believe it's my civic responsibility and duty as a gentleman. What are you gentlemen out there doing to improve your neighborhoods or cities? Are you volunteering for an organization, or maybe you're doing something unsanctioned like keeping an eye on your elderly neighbors or making sure the latchkey kids who live across the street are getting home safely from the school bus? What about philanthropy? Do you give to any organization? Or conversely, do you regularly hand out money to the street people in your neighborhood or buy them food? Philanthropy, social responsibility, and community service can take on many forms, so let's hear what you're up to. Tell everyone in the comments what you're doing to make the world a better place, or if you're trying to hold yourself accountable to start doing something, mention that in the comments section and let us know what the rest of us can do to help you. Until next time, thanks for watching. Topher.